Welcome back, everybody. We're here live once again with the Armaggeddon Dota 2 Asia Grand Slam. We are live with the match in the loser bracket between, well, it's not the TI3 champions, it's Harrosh. They're going up against the Pacific Esports 2 team here in the loser bracket match. It's do or die for both of these two teams. We're down to 5 teams now. We've just seen the Indonesians Last Hope Reborn get knocked out of the tournament, and we're going to be down to 4 teams after this match. By the end of the day, we're down to 3. We'll see one more team get knocked down as well. We've got 2 more matches after this one. We're going to see the next loser bracket match as well as our winner bracket final between ABC as well as Awake. Those 2 teams already guaranteed a top 3 place, and we're going to see, well, who's going to be the one edging out one another at the end of today. Then tomorrow, you've got your loser bracket finals followed by your best of 3 grand finals, and we're going to have $20,000 in prize money, sponsorship here, as well as sponsorship contracts being dealt out to the top 3 placing teams. Well, without much further ado, let's get things underway here between Harrosh as well as Pacific. Well, the team coming all the way from the Philippines, and they're looking to carry their country's banner. They've knocked out their fellow countrymen. The team Gangsta Black, who were also in this tournament from the Philippines, got knocked out by Pacific Esports at the end of yesterday. But luckily for the Philippines fans out there, there's still one more team for you to cheer for. For the Singaporean team, you've got Harrosh as well as First Departure. Both those 2 teams still alive and kicking. And, well, Harrosh are going to try and stay alive here. They've got to win this match to stay in it. If they do win this, they go on to verse First Departure. So they'll verse their fellow countrymen in that next loser bracket match. So they've got to get past Pacific first. We'll have to see if they can manage to do that. It's a tough team. They've been playing really well this tournament, Pacific, and we're going to see what they look to come up with this draft of theirs. They've got the second pick playing over on that Radiant side, and so far we see a Batrider being banned out by them, as Keeper of the Light as well as Darkseer banned out by the Dire team, Harrosh. Nick's Assassin going to round off our bans as now we get into our pick stage. We look at what's left, and it's a Mag once again who's still in the pool. We've seen Mag being left in the pool constantly. Very rarely has this Mag actually been banned out, and it's been giving away to teams time and time again. Harrosh also has run Wisp on a couple of occasions, so Wisp still in the pool as well. We'll have to see if Mr. Keo looks to play that one again. He's been doing most of the drafting for his team, but this game we see Draken actually taking over the draft, so maybe see a different style of picks and bans coming out from this team, or maybe it's just a small adjustment. They're still doing the draft altogether, but either way, it's a small change, and it is going to be the Wisp. They first pick up the Wisp right off the bat, and they're feeling really confident. They love to go for that split push style of play. Have the Wisp, who can basically apply pressure anywhere on the map. As soon as Wisp is level 6, it gets so dangerous for your opponents. You can't have anyone off farming on your own. You have to stick together, and, well, your only limitation of Wisp is that you're not the best in team fights. Also the early laning stage. Those two periods is where sort of Wisp can be very limited and shut down. As Queen of Pain and Mag going to be the 2 picks for the Filipinos for Pacific Esports. So they get their 2 solos right off the bat, and now we see Harrosh. Well, I imagine we look at a Chaos Knight. They want to get that, well, the hero basically the combo with the Wisp. At least one of 2. Maybe they go for the Lifestealer as well. Lifestealer's still in the pool. They actually went for a Wisp Lifestealer as well as a CK yesterday, so we'll see if they look to do something similar or look to play a different style here. Even with Draken doing the picks and bans, it is still the Wisp first pick, so they're staying true to what they were picking the first 2 days of this Armageddon Dota 2 Grand Slam of Asia. We'll have to wait and see if they look to do something similar here up against the Filipinos. Each team you go up against, sometimes you look to adjust your play, adjust your picks. Maybe something they'll do here if they've studied their opponents based on their games yesterday. As we do get ourselves into the reserve time now. Already a bit under, well, getting down to about a minute of reserve time left. There's your Lifestealer. No CK right off the bat. So you have the Wisp Lifestealer possibly lane together, or alternatively you go for the dual lane. Something that Harrosh did do it the first time they used Wisp. They ran a dual lane mid, then a dual lane in the safe lane. If they want to go that route, they can. Have Lifestealer farming up, and then CK, well, with CK in the mid lane or something, has a strong dual lane. And against the Queen of Pain, well, it's hard to kill the Queen of Pain because of that blink, but you can pretty much prevent Queen of Pain from getting too much farm if you do run a strong dual lane in the mid lane. And it's going to be, Tinker right off the bat in the first 3 picks as well. I think Harrosh too sort of worried about that getting banned out if they don't pick it from the start, and, well, this is sort of one of these trademark Singaporean heroes. Harrosh love to use it, Zenith love to use it, as do First Departure. All these teams love to just play this split push style of play. Tinker's so good at doing that. Wisp, one of the heroes which only seems to be Harrosh who's been using as of late. And we'll look to see what else they want to go. If they want to go all in with this split push, maybe it's going to be something like a Nature's Prophet. have him run in the off lane, have the Wisp Lifestealer in the safe lane, Tinker in the mid lane. They can get creative with these lanes if they really want. Tinker can always, well, can jungle, we've seen in the past, can just kill Ancients from the start, can go in the off lane. It's really his ideal places in the mid lane, but you can get creative and send him into different locations. Shadow Demon going to be the third pickup now, coming out from the Filipinos, giving themselves at least a strong support here. They don't go for the Rubik because there's not really too much worth sealing in terms of spells here. Shadow Demon a bit more of the safe, reliable option there. Now they just need to finish off their tri lane, get another support, get something to be farming in that tri lane as well. And we're going to get ourselves to that second banning stage. And for Harrosh, well, the two main options here is you look to ban out those tri lane carries, or you look to ban out the secondary supports. Supports that can look to go with that Shadow Demon. If they're worried about something offensive, it's supports like Alina. But when you've got a Lifestealer, I don't think they're too afraid of offensive tri-lanes, because Lifestealer, I mean, even with it, you have that setup disruption, it's not going to be able to chain, not going to be able to get chained with a chain stun. Something like Alina stun you can't use afterwards because of that rage. And they're more worried about the carries. They're going to ban up the lone druid for the time being. We'll see what they look to pick up with this 4th and 5th picks of theirs. Sorry, 4th and 5th bans of theirs. Anti-Mage's still there, but not something we've seen Pacific run all that much. As is the Faceless Void. Maybe that's where Pacific look to go. As the captain for this Pacific team, the question mark, who I had confirmed to me is Mr. Swish. So the former Mineski player, Mr. Swish, the Pacific captain, played a fantastic Queen of Pain yesterday. It was something like 20 kills, 2 deaths and 13 assists. Carried his team to victory up against the Gangster team. He was the one they had put all their eggs into that game. We'll have to see whether or not it's going to be a similar case here in this game. Him on the Queen of Pain, or do we look to see him on some kind of a carry hero? Antimate's getting banned out now, as well as Nature's Prophet and CK. Pacific see the split push, and also this just global ganking power. Tinker can TP anywhere on the map, as can the Wisp and Lifestealer with the Wisp ulti. And that's where you see Nature's Prophet being banned now. They want to limit the options for this global ganking. They really want to go all out for it. They look for heroes like Clockwork, and maybe even an Ancient Apparition, have rockets flying around the map, Ice Blast flying around the map. They can get very, very global with those heroes. CK does cop a ban though, so I think part of Pacific is still worried about potential dual lanes. Have a Lifestealer dual lane, have a CK dual lane, then have Tinker while playing in that solo role. Bounty and Disruptor are going to be copying the last two bans. Disruptor, well, just a precautionary ban. Just because there's a Wisp there, you don't want to be relocating in and then getting instantly sent back. Or one of the two heroes sent back, and the other hero being left to get focused down and killed. And the Bounty, well, that offlane hero, which I suppose we could see Harrosh running. They don't have their offlaner yet. Bounty Hunter hasn't been played all that much, at least not successfully. He did get picked up here once at the Armaggeddon Dota 2 Asia Grand Slam, but it was not a game that went too well for the Bounty Hunter. That was actually the last game yesterday, the Gangster game. They had a Bounty Hunter and Night Stalker draft, but they just didn't get the momentum they needed with it. The hero just isn't as popular as it once was, and there's your other support hero. It's going to be a Rubik. So Wisp, Rubik and Lifestealer are going to be what more or less is a tri-lane, unless they go for dual lanes. Problem is with dual lanes, well, if they're running dual lane mid and safe lane, that puts Tinker into the off lane, and sending Tinker off lane is not really a happy Tinker. He can of course farm Ancients using his March of the Machines, maybe even just go into the jungle and essentially abandon the off lane, but more likely we're looking at a tri-lane here with Tinker in the mid lane. Tinker can match up pretty well against the Queen of Pain. Just need one more hero then to fill that off lane role. And with Nature's Prophet banned out, their options are fewer, but there's still an Enigma in the pool. As is there a Windrunner in the pool. There's still a number of options if you want to get that off lane hero with this last pick. Pacific Esports now getting into their reserve time. 1 minute left there as their fourth pick. It's a pretty important one here. Thinking things through as to whether they probably want to get their carry hero now or just wait to get it with their last pick. They need one more support as well. Lina probably sort of the obvious choice to put with a Shadow Demon, but right now it's going to be hard for Lina to fight a Lifestealer, as well as Tinker. I mean, Tinker, it's just hard to get in range to get off a Lina stun when you're fighting into a March of the Machine. If you have to walk into stun, March of the Machine just whittles you down. You want to have long range spam. That's where Shadow Demon does alright. You can spam the Shadow Poison. You want something with a bit more range. Disruptor does alright there as well. They're going to go for a Sand King, and that's, if you can get his Blink Dagger up, that works well, and this is a combo that Pacific have used a couple of times already this tournament, having the Shadow Demon Sand King, the setup Disruption followed by Fire Strike. The last pick will be their carry. Maybe looking at something like a Faceless Void. It's the one main carry still left in the pool that hasn't been banned out, it looks like. Anti-Mage, Lone Druid, both gone. And Lifesteal having already been taken by the Dire team. Harrosh.
10 seconds remaining.
What's that going to leave this Radiant team? Pacific Esports. Well, we'll find out in just a second after Harrosh get their last hero. They need what looks to be another solo. Assuming that we are going to be seeing that tri-lane with the Wisp, Rubik and Lifestealer. 27 seconds now, ticking down. As Harrosh, as mentioned, this is an important match for both teams. Any elimination is an important match, but this is to secure a place in the top 4. Winner of this match goes on to take on first departure. We're down to 5 teams. 2 teams from Singapore left, 1 from the Philippines, 1 from Thailand, and 1 from Malaysia.
5 seconds remaining.
So far, the 2 Singaporean teams have done well, but they're both finding themselves in the loser bracket. And wow, Harrosh decided to go for a Clinks. This sort of starts to set things up for an offensive tri-lane. We're looking at Clinks going into the safe lane, offensive tri-lane with the Wisp, Lifestealer, and Rubik. As that's something which, well, this Radiant team Pacific have got to be expecting now. As soon as you see that Clinks pick, you've got to be thinking, well, they're going offensive tri-lane. Does a Faceless Void work? Can we go for that hard carry, or do we go with something that can actually fight a tri-lane a bit better? As to what that might be, Pacific may have to get a bit creative. Maybe even something like a Weaver. Go with a tri-lane farming Weaver, something which a few teams have been doing successfully as of late. It's definitely an option, but Naga Siren, there's your tri-lane carry. It's the setup hero. You have the Song of the Siren, which can be used to help get Mag and Queen of Pain into a better position in these team fights. As we'll hop ourselves into this game now, and it is going to be Harrosh up against Pacific Esports in a loser bracket round 4 match. Loser going to be sent packing. Winner keeps their hopes alive. They're going to be into the top 4. You need to get top 3 to be walking away with prize money. As we will introduce our 2 teams over on the Radiant side. Flying in from the Philippines, it is Pacific Esports 2. We've got Mr. Swish playing the Queen of Pain, Lennon Damon playing the Mag, Nico playing the Naga Siren, Sanking in the hands of KRR, then finally Niekas playing the Shadow Demon. Over on the Dire side, we have got Draken playing the Clinks, representing his team. It is Team Harrosh. We've got Tinker being played by You Do Not Know Me. Well, I do not know you apparently. We've got Wisp being played by Mr. Keo at the top lane. Powerhouse going to be handling the Lifestealer, and that leaves Rubik in the hands of I Will Try Very, Very Hard Now, aka King. I believe it's King on the Rubik. And that leaves, well, Tinker at the mid lane. I think that's Fisher. We had Fisher playing earlier there. As, how are things going out? How do they look to lane this? Both teams just looking to get whatever wards they can. Oh, cheeky little ward spot being used there, but they'll quickly find out what these lanes are. We can't reveal too much just yet. The teams don't know what's going on as far as their opponents' lanes are concerned. Unfortunately, they can't hear me. Mag skewered to the low ground. We'll grab this DD rune. He really wanted that DD rune. Oh! Rubik went for it. If Mag chased a bit further, he could have almost got that lift, and that would have been, well, just 20 seconds up there. It would have forced him to use some more mana. As we will see Mag now in the top lane. Queen of Pain is at mid. And it's a Queen of Pain up against the Tinker. So Tinker's going to be solo mid. So some unorthodox lanes coming out of Harrosh. They've sent the Clinks to the off lane, and Clinks is one of those heroes who really struggles when he doesn't get farm, and he's not going to get much farm at all up against this Naga Siren lane. What should be a tri-lane. Look at all these trees being chopped down near the mid lane. They're trying to use this mid-pull. So hard to do so. Especially with these. You can do so with some creeps, but it's going to be a lot harder with the recent patch changes. I believe it was Naga Siren. Yet who has the Quelling Blade? I don't see any Quelling Blade up. It looks like they've just managed to... Oh, chop them down with a skewer. Would have been the skewer to cut down these trees. And now trying to pull it out, but so far not succeeding in doing so. As right now, both teams just testing the waters. Mag trying to get as much XP and farm as possible in this off lane. He's already hit level 2 though. Lifestealer will be the one farming there. The 2 supports, the Rubik and the Wisp. Well, they need to do their best to zone out this Mag. Queen of Pain at mid-X putting a lot of harass, a lot of pressure onto Tinker. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Clink struggling to get any farm and XP. No creeps yet from him. He has got some XP, but not really anything substantial. And Shadow Demon, well, still unsuccessful with this pull. Wisp, on the other hand, no problem for him. He's got his pull happening at the top lane, and he's going to bring in these next creeps here. May actually not do so in time. He needs to kill this last small one. Yep, he's just got it. Gets the double pull off at top lane, so will be denying a lot of XP from this mag. Also prevents his lane from pushing out too much. As soon as you get some creep momentum going towards the max tower, well, then you deny a wave and you're looking good. Thinks finds an illusion rune at bottom lane, but it's just going to harass out the Sand King. And more important than anything is just to get some vision. He knows he can now go and farm, because Sand King, well, he's stuck here. I say stuck, he's just going to try to battle these illusions. But Clinks can play a bit more aggressive. He's gone for Searing Arrows as well, so we're not seeing that Skeleton walk at level 1. It does put him in a bit of danger. That's why you have to play so cautiously as well. And a D-ward. They D-warded these Ancients. I'm really surprised by that one. Interesting decision there coming from, well, we won't say too much. Don't want to let Pacific know what's going on here, but definitely an interesting decision. Queen of Pain up to level 4, and Tinker's just level 3.5. Tinker's spending a lot of time, checking runes, leaving this lane, and as a result, he's falling slightly behind as far as levels go. Mag needs to play this top lane cautiously. If he gets caught by a telekinesis, it could be the end of him if Wisp is there, but Wisp, happy to keep using these pulls. Doesn't want to have anything to do with that mag at top lane. Decides he's better off getting some levels. He wants to get up to level 6. Have the relocate come into play. Bottom lane, similar story from the Sand King. He's happy to give this Clinks a couple levels. Clinks is getting levels, but he's not getting farm. He may hit level 3 in a second, but he's got 2 CS only. And it's basically giving him XP in exchange for Sand King getting levels and farm here by using these pulls. And giving Clinks XP is not really a big issue. Levels don't really benefit him as much as farm does. Clinks ideally needs to be looking for, well, something like a fast Orchid, but you're not looking at a fast Orchid as an off-lane Clinks. Mag, on the other hand, he's a hero who does need levels, so giving him XP is costly. Oh, mid lane, Queen of Pain. Needs to be careful there. Wisp and Tinker trying to go for a stun. Mag goes with the skewer, followed by a shockwave. Heals coming in from the, well, Tether coming in from the Wisp as well as bottle charges being used. Helps keep that Tinker alive, and well, Queen of Pain looks like it narrowly escaped that Tinker Wisp gank. What build has the Tinker gone for? It was the laser missile. He went for the more aggressive ganking build, just hoping that he could get a kill on that Queen of Pain there. First Blood would have justified the build, but if he's not getting kills with it, then that's where you really want the marching machine, so you can kill off those ancient sacks. Now Queen of Pain, well, Boots, Null Talisman, he's had his bottle, he's using that Courier to refill it when possible. And it's the bottom lane where Pacific have got this Naga Siren, a good amount of farm, leading the game as far as overall farm goes. And Clinks has to play so cautiously at bottom. Naga Siren and Snare, you can't rely on the Shadow Walk to get out. Once you get ensnared up, Invis does not help until the ensnare wears off. The ensnare wears off, then you're fine. If they get him low enough, he can go down. Problem is they don't have vision of this. No sentries or dust being used at bottom lane, and they can't actually find Draken. There was it was behind the tower. Whoa, I didn't notice that sentry ward, but it was on top of the tower. So Clinks kills the sentry ward. He ran down to get out of range of it. Oh, it's top lane. They found the mags. First Blood goes to the life stealer. They're too busy checking out what was happening in that bottom lane. I believe we caught that replay though. We'll have that coming up in just a second, guys. Luckily for us here, we do have some awesome instant replay features, as we'll take another quick look at that kill at top lane. It was the open wounds to lead things off. Mag out of mana here. Either the skewer was on cooldown or he just didn't have the mana to use the skewer. And unfortunately for him, that spells First Blood. One kill going the way of the Harrosh side. They strike first. It's the Radiant team farming better. They've got Naga Siren at bottom lane as well as Queen of Pain at mid, both having great games so far as farm goes. Tinker at mid, slightly behind. And here comes the first rotation. Shadow Demon and Sand King, they've smoked up, trying to sit behind this Queen of Pain, looking for a kill here at mid lane. They want this Tinker. Tinker going to go blinking in. Shadow Strike is there. Rubik's there with the telekinesis, but here comes the Shadow Demon tanking. It's a 3-on-3 at mid lane. Sonic Wave is there. They burst down the Tinker. Do hero Burrow Strike now. It's Lifesteal as well. Lifesteal's actually TP'd into this one. Sanking needs to get out. Sandstorm, is it there? Yes, it is. Tether Sun. Is there anything to get him out of this? Doesn't look like... Well, no, Sanking actually I think just gives away his life there. But it's still a kill on the Tinker. But a costly one. They lose the Sanking. 3 kills to 1. And Shadow Demon as well going down to the Rubik. So 3-1 is the kill lead for Harrosh. As now we see bottom lane, Draken getting himself some confidence. He sees the supports at mid and he's like, hey, I can verse this Naga Siren now. Especially with my harass. The level 3 Searing Arrow is doing quite a bit of damage here. Nico at bottom despite having that good early start. He hasn't got any HP regen left. No salves, no tangos. And as a result, he's sort of forced to play very, very safe and defensive at this bottom lane. There we go. He's brought in something to help him out. Tinker going back towards a bit of a March-heavy build, maybe. He's got that 3rd point in the heat-seeking missiles. He is going to be, I imagine, trying to max out this March fairly soon, though. He is sort of the more reliable. Uh-oh, mid lane. Queen of Pain looking for this Rubik. Will get not do enough damage there just with the Shadow Strike. It'll tick away, but it won't get him low enough. And Blink got stolen there by the Rubik. Will help him with that initiation, but it doesn't give him any additional DPS. Draken at bottom, just trying to get that level 6. Same thing for Mag. Mag at the top lane, still not hit that level 6 yet. He's only level 4, so he's even further behind than the Clinks. As Nico continuing to farm on this bottom lane on his Naga Siren. Mr. Swish, Queen of Pain, going for the same build we saw him do yesterday. The boots and 2 null talismans. Really heavy early game stats. Very cheap and cost effective as well. Oh, was looking for a blink telekinesis there. Not going to come. Just a level 1 blink, so it's not really even that good of a spell to be stealing. 700 range and 12-second cooldown. I think the rating team are going to be quite happy that Rubik's only got a level 1 blink on him right now. Much worse spells that could be stolen. And now we see the bottom tier 1 tower being put under pressure here. Pacific should be able to get this. Unless we're seeing a TPM. Wisp, not level 6 just yet. Level 4 only. Ooh, went for the denied Dragon. Doesn't time it quite right. And it's Naga Siren who gets the last hit on the tower. So more gold into the pockets of this Naga Siren. Are we looking at a straight Radiance build maybe? But it's going to be a hard carry Naga Siren. You need to accelerate that farm. And that can come from a Radiance. As he's just going to do a standard pull. Wants to basically pull this creep wave away from the Clinks. And if Clinks doesn't have his creep wave at his tower, it's really hard for him to farm safely. Mr. Swish, since getting that 1 kill, hasn't been too involved. It was the only kill they've actually picked up. His ultimate back up now, so we'll have to wait and see if he looks to go for a bit of a gank here, or maybe we'll see some support swing towards the mid lane, look for this Tinker. That's what they really want to try and do. Get Queen of Pain setting up kills. Either Queen of Pain rotates to a side lane for some kills, or we see rotation from supports to the mid lane. Queen of Pain getting so aggressive there, trying to blink up, try and find him the Tinker. With the 2 null talismans, he gets bonus HP, as well as all that extra intel. Make sure he has mana to use multiple screams, Sonic Waves in these fights. Rune unfortunately does not spawn top. It's not going to go the way of the Queen of Pain. And bottom lane, they want Draken. Dust gets used. Draken now in all sorts of trouble. He's going to death back up. Unfortunately, I don't think he got much HP out of that. Boosts his HP by about 150, but this should be his death here anyways. Is there an ensnare though? There's no lockdown. There's just enough damage. Riptide seals the deal. Level 4 Riptide. Kill going the way of the Naga Siren. Meanwhile, mid lane, Blinking Scream coming in. Queen of Pain takes out the Rubik there, so 2 kills going to Pacific. As we find ourselves now dead even. 3 kills apiece between the 2 teams. And where's the lifesteal gone item-wise? Phase drums. It's the mobility build. It's what you need with the lifesteal to make sure you don't get kited around. Problem is, drop an ensnare and you can just avoid lifesteal in a fight. Ensnare goes through that rage. No way of getting out of it unless you get a Ghost Scepter, which you're sure as hell not doing in the lifestealer. Mag at top has hit level 6 now. He's also got his arcane boots up, so he's actually looking alright despite that early death of his, giving up that first blood. Having arcane boots up already and, well, having that level 6, so just has to spam this down with the shockwave. Try not get caught out by the lifestealer, by any aggression coming from this dire side. And now this tier 1 tower being put under pressure here. Rubik going to come in. Fade ball the creep wave, and Whisper's there as well. Oh, Mag. He's been seen. the spirits must have seen him. They were just a millimeter away, and it's Queen of Pain at mid lane. Solo kill into the Tinker. Sonic Wave not even being used there. Meanwhile, top lane, here we go. They abandoned the pushing the tier 1 tower. They want to go for kills here. Mag's already skewered away, but he's got, looks like just enough movement speed to get out of this one. They're really committing for this. Disruption is now there. Rage is worn off. Tether stun does hit the Shadow Demon, and RP under the tower. The illusion's also going to block off this lifesteal. He's going to infest into a creep. Pop out, back off, and now comes Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain's got one. Taking to run now, because here comes lifesteal. TP in. Who's it going to be? Queen of Pain blinks into the trees here. That should save his life. It's Naga Siren. Instant onto the lifesteal under his tower. Lifesteal just going to TP out. Oh, Rubik Fable does take out the Shadow Demon, but he goes down for it. Sanking is there. And Queen of Pain somehow survives the onslaught at top lane. What a giant kerfuffle there. And Harrosh not going to be happy with the trade they found. They got too aggressive. They overextended, and Pacific Esports punished it. Great rotation from the Queen of Pain, and great TP in from the Naga Siren. This is slowing down these Tinker's boots of travel quite drastically. Not that fight there, but he actually got picked off before that fight even began. Lifestealer. He's starting to get to work on that armlet of his. But he's still got some way to go. He didn't go down in that fight, luckily for him. He's still staying on 2-0. And his CS at this point is pretty much where you want to be as a farming Lifestealer. Didn't go for the Midas farming build. He went for the more safe and standard build. Queen of Pain now with all those kills at top lane must be eyeing off some sort of an item soon. I'll have to wait and see if he goes straight for a Sheepstick, maybe an Orchid. Orchid does pretty well against Lifesteal. If you can silence him before he rage, he's suddenly a lot more killable. Lifesteal actually only going for 3 points in rage. Interesting little build coming out there. Normally you see the rage being maxed out first for the extra duration. Epicenter. Sleep. Oh, I don't think he timed it quite right there. Draken survives the initial epicenter, forces out the dust. They were trying to kill him without having to use that dust, but unfortunately he goes down. The dust was there. Sanking and Naga Siren once again killing him at the bottom lane. Looks like top, they want to push once again. The 3-man push is coming. The tier 1 tower is pretty much going to get taken down here. It looks like there's not going to be any contest for this. Whis needs to be careful, taking a lot of damage here. Whis may just go down to a tower hit. Oh my gosh, he dies to the tower. That's not a pretty sight. Naga Siren now coming from the side here. Mag getting an RP onto 2. Perfect RP. Followed up by Riptide doing tons of damage here. They bring down one here. Can they? No, they only bring down the Rubik. It looks like Lifesteal is still alive. He's trying to fight his way out of this one. He's going to be in all sorts of trouble because DD rune on the Queen of Pain. The Purge is now up as well. Diffusal Blade is up on the Naga Siren. Kills being taken by Pacific at top. Important kills at that. Lifestealer goes down. They do lose the mag, but this is just an offlane mag. He's already got his basic core up. Oh, mid. Tinker. He survived the Sonic Wave. He's going to be okay for the time being. Queen of Pain going to have to blink away from this Wisp. He should be okay. I think Queen of Pain... Oh, Queen of Pain getting very, very low. Those Wisp Spirits is going to go blinking in. This is some risky ballsy play. Especially with Draken right about in the neighborhood. Oh, one Searing Arrow not going to do enough damage. Queen of Pain narrowly survives that one. I think Queen of Pain was going for a solo kill, thinking he could kill the Tinker. Problem is, the laser gives that miss rate. 100% miss for 3 seconds. And the problem was, Queen of Pain was relying on getting a couple auto attacks with that DD rune. Nico atop. It looks like he's just taking it. Yep, takes out the tier 1 tower top. And Sanking, well, with all this tower gold he's getting, he's going to be eyeballing a Blink Dagger sometime in the near future. If he can get that up, then suddenly Tinker's going to be getting picked off time and time again. Tinker, where are your boots of travels? We haven't seen them come yet. He needs those soon. He needs to be defending towers and just being a complete, I mean, basically annoying menace with them. But it doesn't look like that's what we're going to have coming up just yet. Lifestealer, still no armlet for him as well. That first death of his is going to slow down that farm quite a bit. As mid lane, Queen of Pain, well, it's not the aggressive Orchid or Sheepstick build. He's going straight BKB. Worried about the disables and lockdown. The telekinesis, the Wisp stun, the Tinker spam. There's no Orchid coming from the Clinks, not anytime soon at least. But still, he's going for the safe BKB build. Sanking, Shadow Demon and Queen of Pain at the mid lane. Trying to eyeball off, see if they can find any openings, get some kills here. It's just the Clinks who's being spotted out for the time being, and there's not really much they can do to bring him down. Draken, he's desperately poor right now. He just doesn't have anything in his way of items. Elsewhere, looks like the Radiant team, they're not looking to get too aggressive right now. Pacific Esports, well, they just want to get these next sort of core items up. Queen of Pain needs to finish off the BKB. Sand looking for a Blink Dagger. And Naga Siren, well, we've seen the Diffusal Blade. But with the Tower Gold from top, with more farm going his way, he can start looking at his next item. Probably something to start tanking up. Maybe a Heart of Thras, maybe the Manta Style. Manta Style could give them some even more pushing power. They haven't been able to take down towers too easily. Just the 2 tier 1s being pushed in. Here we go. Tinker getting closer and closer to those boots of travel. Oh, they're going to go in mid. They want Draken. He dodges the Shadow Strike. Dust comes in, but it's too late. Draken's out of there. The Smoke Gang fails. They were looking for it with the Shadow Demon Sand King. They need to come around from behind. Going in from the front, they got revealed, and Draken immediately retreats. And this is buying time for Harrosh to get some more farm, to get this armlet up on the Lifestealer. To get his Wisp. Well, he is level 6. He's been level 6 for some time now, but the question is, can he make anything with it? Uh-oh, Mag in trouble here. Going to skewer to the side. He's maybe going to pop an RP. Tether is there. RP, TP out. Should be. Oh, no, not enough. Infest damage was there. He infests the creep. Comes out. Really smart decision from Powerhouse. Make sure he gets a kill on the Mag at the top lane. So Harrosh, they do strike back. Without that infest, that was not going to be a kill there. The extra 275 damage was needed. The Wisp Tether Stun wasn't available. And as Pacific Esports with Mag on the sidelines and RP being used, they can't really teamfight for some time now. Oh, Draken. Instant to lead things off. Burrow Strike Epicenter. This will be the end of him. Oh, is it? He's managed to get away from the Epicenter. Oh, Queen of Pain comes blinking in, finishes him off, and here comes the Wisp relocate. They're going to bring in the Lifestealer as well. Lifestealer on his own. He's going to get isolated by the Song of the Siren, but he's just going to fight his way out of this one. Brings down 1. Let's make it 2. And now Queen of Pain, the only hero left to deal with. He blinks away. Almost brought down the Tinker there. And Queen of Pain just out of range, it looks like, as Lifestealer now still on the chase. Wants the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon TP away. Not going to happen. Telekinesis is there. And Rubik has stolen Sonic Wave. Level 2 Sonic Wave now in the hands of King. And they can look to now start getting aggressive, start pushing down maybe this mid tier 1. Bottom tier 1 also going to take a bit of a damage with this creep momentum we see here. Not going to be enough to bring it down, but enough to do a bit of damage for sure. Top lane, Mag, he wants his Blink Dagger. He's still got a bit of a way to go for it, but once the Radiant team get Blink Daggers on Sand King and Mag, their team fight starts getting really, really strong and scary. Looks like Tinker's finally finished off his Boots of Travel, and with Boots of Travel up, well, it's going to get a lot easier for Harrosh to just spam down their opponents and just try keep these lanes all pushed out, avoid team fights, and just rely on their ability to harass from far away. Try isolate heroes using this Wisp relocate, bring in the Lifestealer if they find someone on their own, like we saw earlier at top lane with that Mag. And Wisp just staying around this Lifestealer. Lifestealer, well, they can look for a team fight somewhere else, and Wisp Lifestealer can just show up at any time. And Pacific, it looks like they don't want to have anything to do with this. They're going to just have Mag still trying to farm that Blink Dagger. They have Naga Siren. Well, it looks like we're going to see a Heart build. He's got the Vitality booster up, so Heart of Thras is going to be his item of choice. Queen of Pain at mid wants a tier 1 tower. Glyph is going to be popped here. Is anyone going to be able to come in time? Wisp Lifestealer can come in, but problem is Queen of Pain's got the blink out. You have to really predict where that blink's going, and even so, Queen of Pain gets some warning. So tier 1 tower to the Queen of Pain. BKB is up on Queen of Pain now. Mr. Swish, well, he's got a lot of farm up on him. 6-0-1 right now. Where's Lifestealer going? He's had this armor for some time. Are we seeing a Desolator? Or maybe something else coming out for him? Both teams sort of playing a lot safer now, sort of entering this passive state of mind. They realize, well, for Pacific, it's really hard to team fight, because if they go to push, they're going to take a lot of damage from the spam. They're going to be fighting into a March of the Machines, fighting into the Tinker rocket spam. And end of the day, that's not really a scenario which they want to be in. The two supports for Pacific just sitting behind this Naga Siren, trying to be as protective as possible. Looks like Naga Siren Illusion scout out what Tinker's doing here in the Ancients. Tinker trying to keep up this farm. He still hasn't got his Blink Dagger. We'll be looking for either a Blink Dagger or a Force Staff as his first item, I imagine. You want to have that mobility you can get from it, but right now doesn't have that. Lifestealer. It's not a Desolator. He's gone for the Basher. And Mag has got his Blink Dagger up now, so maybe Pacific can look to try find a team fight using this Blink RP. Probably want Mag to hit that level 11, get that level 2 ultimate, the 3-second stun duration, but for the time being, Pacific just opting to farm around the map. Mag at top, Naga Siren was at bottom, now they just sort of rotate back to their own jungle, look to sort of accelerate their farm there. Sand King still has a bit of a way to go before he gets his Blink Dagger up, and with no Blink Dagger on the Sand King, it's entirely relying on a Mag Blink RP to basically win them a fight. They do have the setup from a Naga Siren sleep, but that's not going to always be enough for him. And Draken at bottom, he's still trying to farm, he's still trying to build towards an Orchid here. He's got Treads up with the first quarterstaff, but Clinks without items is a hero who really can't offer all that much, and this is really the issue with running this off-lane Clinks. Draken at this point in the game cannot do anything in a team fight. He can do a bit of right-click damage, but that's not going to really offer a lot. They need just more coming from him, and that's why we see Harrosh just not team fighting right now. They're happy to play this play Pacific's game. Pacific don't win a team fight, well, that works out fine for Harrosh. Both teams playing very, very cautiously. We'll see an ensnare coming out on bottom lane. It's going to be on Draken. Is there a Wisp Lifestealer relocate in? Doesn't look like we're seeing one just yet. Mag Stewart not going to actually come. He's going to be ensnared up. Ensnare was stolen by the Rubik. Draken on the back line. There's a Wisp Lifestealer. They come in from behind. They bring down one. Naga Siren goes down. It looks like Wisp as well is being brought down. Queen of Pain with the BKB goes blinking in, trying to bring down Powerhouse, but Powerhouse in that rage form is just too damn hard to bring down. The bash onto the Queen of Pain. Ensnare goes through that BKB. The Ensnare steal from the Rubik ensures that they can get the kill on him. 4 hero killed from the TI3 champions, from Harrosh, as we see a great team fight coming out from them. Pacific Esports, well, that is not the fight they were looking for at the bottom lane. And now they're going to switch into a tier 1 tower push. They want this tier 1 tower at bottom lane, and well, Draken and Powerhouse are going to get it. Top lane, you've got the Tinker. Well, he's just going to keep these lanes all being pushed out. He needs to catch up on his farm. Try to get up that Blink Dagger or Force Staff of his. And there we go, he's got his first item now. And Pacific Esports, well, they were doing so well for so long, but that team fight, all their hard work was in vain almost. Big, big drop in XP and gold, going the way of the Dire team. Bottom lane, Rubik playing very, very aggressive up in this line. I think he's going to maybe keep this Ensnare. Ensnare's so useful at killing this Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain wants the BKB in, well, you ensnare her and then focus her down using the Lifestealer right-click damage. You've also got a Clink, so Lifestealer and Clinks can look to just bring down Queen of Pain while ensnared up. Have to see Queen of Pain pick up another item at this rate. We can't really hold it. Maybe even a Ghost Scepter to prepare for the Orchid that will be coming out on this Clinks. Ghost Scepter would be a nice little pickup, but would definitely need some sort of aggressive items coming out as well, whether it's a Sheep Stick or an Orchid Malevolence. You want to have some damage as well as late game sort of lockdown on that Queen of Pain. Naga Siren's at top, just trying to continue her farm. Has this Vitality booster, so probably looking for a Heart of Taras. Or maybe just looking to hold on to the Vitality booster and then pick up something with a bit more pushing power, something with a bit more DPS. Maybe a Manta Cell, but it looks like we may just be seeing a Heart of Taras coming out in a second. And Sand King, well, he's still looking for that Blink Dagger. He's still got a bit of a way to go for it, and it's really hard to find places to farm. Wisp can just be looking to bring in anyone at any time. And they're doing just that. Here we go. Wisp Life still going to go flying into the bottom lane. Sand King. Burrow Strike to the other side of the trees, but Powerhouse is just going complete Rambo here. Song of the Siren being used, and Wisp, well, I'm not sure if he'll go back here. I think he should go back. Yeah, he goes back. Epicenter onto the Lifesteal, and Lifesteal completely caught out alone. Wisp couldn't re-tether him. The sleep prevented it. If Wisp wasn't slept up there, Lifestealer gets brought back. He goes back to safely farm his own jungle, but the sleep from the Naga Siren, they managed to get the kill there, and Queen of Pain's not done, trying to chase down this Rubik. It looks like they will bring down King at the mid lane. Sand King Burrow Strike to make sure of it. 2 kills go the way of Pacific, and then once again tie things up at 14 kills apiece. As Tinker, he's still not coming to the fray. He has got his Blink Dagger up. He can push out lane, spam the march, and just be pretty well protected. Just blink into trees, use the march from there, and it's pretty hard to gank him if you're this Radiant team. You need to get vision somehow. And Queen of Pain, next big item needs to be coming up soon, and there's the start of it. Oh, Draken snipes the mid tier 1 tower, comes in from behind, and that's going to get him very close to his Orchid. He had the 2 Oblivion stuff, so all he needs is the recipe, and with a tower kill, well, that's pretty much it. He's got his Orchid now. He can look to start getting more aggressive, try sniping heroes on their own. If you catch out at someone like a Mag on their own, any of the supports, Sand King, you can't rely on your Burrow Strike or your Sandstorm to escape. But right now, Pacific's spending a lot of time grouped up. You see mid lane, Sand King and Mag grouped up. Queen of Pain sort of the only hero going off on her own to look for kills and look for fights, but Queen of Pain has a BKB, so not really any chance of Clinks looking to kill this Queen of Pain. Tinker just trying to buy time for his team to get more farm, to get more items. Tinker will be looking for that side of the Vice, I imagine. Has had this Blink Dagger for some time, so Ultimate Orb should be up soon. What's the Radiance team's next plan? Blink Dagger up on Mag. He's also level 12 now. Level 12 on the Sand King, so we've also got a level 2 Epicenter. This is not a team fight that's going to be too easy for Harrosh to take. Whispbacks are getting very, very low there, although it's not going to be too much coming from it. And Pacific just trying to get some more map control on the other side, it looks like right now. Trying to find a pick-off. If they get a pick-off, then they can start taking some of these outer towers. Neither team yet to lose a tier 2 tower, and have to wait and see if that's going to be changing anytime soon. Naga Siren just looking to scout things out with those illusions, but not really making much of it. Oh, it's bottom lane Sand King. He's found the Clinks. There is a dust there, but right now he's not going to be able to catch up. The Burrow Strike misses, and Draken, with that extra movement speed, maybe getting away here. Is there any cutoff? Doesn't look like it just yet. Secondary dust not going to land, and Clink's going to try to turn this around, but that's not going to work out too much in his favor. He realizes quickly he can't chase. He's got to back things off for the time being. Especially as he came out immediately from that skeleton walk. He's going to try to scout things out once again. And it's bottom lane. Mag, he gets initiated on by the Clinks. Oh, there's no follow-up damage though. Wisp going to come in, and Song of the Siren gets used. Pacific, are they going to fight this? Epicenter is there. They can change their mind. They want to fight big. Epicenter into RP. Clinks as well as Wisp get completely annihilated. Ensnare onto the Lifestealer. He can't attack unless they try to fight him in melee range. They're going to try to go back in on him. Powerhouse trying to fight his way out of this one. Infest into a creep. Now he's stand up. Rage, it's on cooldown, but not for long. There we go. Another Rage is now there. Skewer back in. They're trying to bring down more. They're trying to bring this Lifestealer. They succeed in doing so. Tinker, he's in the fight, but he's just not doing enough damage. Blinking around. Avoids getting killed, but end of the day, it's not a good fight from in Rubik. Oh no. 4 dead for Harrosh.
I'm sorry, did you...
What a play. Naga Siren, the timing on that Song of the Siren. It was a bit of miscommunication. Pacific didn't, the Naga Siren didn't want to fight it. Naga Siren was TPing home. And then as soon as he sees Sand King, he's like, oh wait, let's fight this. Cancels the sleep, cancels his TP. And then they take the fight convincingly. 4 heroes for 2. They do lose Mag and Naga Siren, their main carry in one of their solos, but getting the Lifestealer for it, a fantastic trade. Sand King with that Blink Dagger just coming in and catching Harrosh by surprise. They thought it was just a Mag RP they had to worry about. They silenced the Mag and they're like, okay, Mag RP no longer an issue. But nope, Sand King Epicenter was well timed and well placed. Queen of Pain starting to build up towards that side of the Vice. Has had this Ultimate Orb, and after a one fight like that, getting closer and closer to a side of the Vice. And this Orchid on the Clinks has just come so late. Draken has just not been able to have much of an impact on this game. He's 1-4-1 right now, and his impact has been very, very minimal. Naga Siren, there's your next big item. Gets the Heart of Tarrasque, and he's now getting tankier and tankier, harder to kill. Not it's something which Lifestealer can look to use to give him that extra lifesteal and extra damage. So not that good against fighting the Lifestealer, but for surviving the Tinker Harass, for the Clinks, it's a nice little pickup. Just having the raw HP, having also the heal in between clashes. Mag trying to get a 4-star up, give himself some extra mobility. He's maybe going to worry about getting a Ghost Scepter of his own, because when he gets silenced up, he can't skewer away. He may want to have a Ghost Scepter to deal with this Lifestealer and Clinks. As Tinker, cheeky little item, he's gone for a dagger, but problem is he's been caught out mid lane. BKB Queen of Pain just going to bring him down. No chance for Tinker. Queen of Pain, easy kill. Blinks away here because Wisp and Lifestealer have made their way in, and it's Queen of Pain get thrown up in the air with a telekinesis, brought down by the Lifestealer, and now they switch their attention onto the Shadow Demon. Queen of Pain buyback. Naga Siren going to try to buy some time with the Song of the Siren, but Epicenter was there. They chained them not too well, and it's just Tinker on the sidelines. Now Draken going to get caught out. There's a gem up. Sand King had it before. He's still got it now. And he makes sure they can bring down the Clinks. Lifestealer in the front lines. He infests into a creep. He gets caught up by an ensnare. He's going to rage in TP. They RP him. Oh, Powerhouse. No escape for you. 2 hero burrow strikes, skewers back the Wisp. Powerhouse, he's trying to armor toggle, he's trying to fight his way out into one. Sonic Wave as well, almost brings down the Sand King, but Sand King luckily goes into the Sandstorm, and they just bring down the Life Stealer there. The armlet toggling was nice, but it just wasn't enough. Who can defend now? With Tinker on the sidelines, Clinks as well as Lifestealer, the 3 main heroes all dead. Tinker will be back soon to defend the tier 3, but this tier 2 should go down. Shadow Demon's already at bottom lane. He's looking to get some farm XP off his own. Cliff actually going to be used here. It's almost as if they want to defend this tier 2. They're going to try spam it down. Is there any buybacks? If they want to defend, they're going to need some. They're just going to let it go though. It's just a tier 2 out of tower. They decide it's not worth the gold investment. As Nagasara Illusions continue to push lanes out, as Tinker trying to do the same with his March. He's gone for the Dagon build. 2 levels in the Dagon as well. It's all about this instant burst damage that we'll be seeing coming from him. And right now the Pacific Esports position is looking really good all of a sudden. They had 1 or 2 shaky fights, but suddenly things going back in their favor. The gold graph almost back to even. XP, well, it's still not in their favor, but a 1 fight like that, and you can see the potential they have with this team fight of theirs. Even with Harrosh slightly ahead in terms of gold, the team fight for Pacific is just so much scarier. Queen of Pain's been solo killing Tinker left, right and center. And Tinker at this point, well, with the build he's going, he hasn't got the Sheepsig up. I mean, Sheepsig wouldn't even help against the BKB Queen of Pain, but it's going to be a bit of a... he wants to split push on his own, but he just can't do that when Queen of Pain can solo kill him. And Queen of Pain with a side of the bias can do that even easier, and that's what we're going to be seeing next. Mr. Swish hasn't got his side of the bias yet. That buyback in that last team fight did slow him down. Oh, bottom lane. They found Draken, they have the gem, they're going to look to him. Ensnare up, no TP. They're going to maybe try to TP after the Ensnare. There is a mag up here if they have to use it. Draken gets brought down at bottom. Here we go. Wisp going to be relocating into Lifestealer. Once again looking to fight this. Song of the Siren is up though. Lifestealer, once his rage wears off, will get slept once again. Oh no, looks like it's actually being cancelled. And there goes your Epicenter blinking in. RP is there if they need it. Mag gets stunned up, and the problem is down goes Clinks towards Rubik. Tiger on the sidelines going to get caught out, and no one on the Pacific side gets brought down at all. Lifestealer, I believe, yeah, Wisp and Lifestealer, the relocate ended and they left the fight. As a result, Harrosh just did not have the numbers at the bottom lane. Turned things into a 5v3 suddenly. Really a 5v2 because Clinks died right at the start of that fight. And right now Harrosh, the Wisp pick, it was the first pick Wisp, but it just isn't really working out too well for them. And things are going to go from bad to worse now. Tier 2 tower bottom going down, and more items being picked up by this Radiant team. The Blink Dagger, this Sand King has just always been in the right position at the right time, hitting some big epicenters, hitting some big 2-3 hero burrow strikes. Force stuff now up on the Magnus as well. As Nagasara just farming the map with illusions. He's going to be looking at another big item coming out soon as well. There's part of it. He's getting it coming out soon. Mag now with the Force stuff up. Where's he look for next? Could start putting a Refresher up, or he goes for the Ghost Scepter. Ghost Scepter great against Lifestealer and Clinks. Refresher, well, having 2 ultis late game, always going to be fantastic. This is definitely a game where most of these Radiant heroes are going to need Ghost Scepters. The focus fire from the Clinks, especially when you get silenced up and can't use your defensive skills, and then the Lifestealer who's getting a lot of farm, and also the other lockdown coming out from a Basher. Things getting really difficult for Harrosh now. I mean, as far as they're concerned, their main focus at this point in the game is going to be split pushing. They don't want a team fight. At no point can they really afford to team fight. And the Wisp Lifestealer, they can't really be looking to get too aggressive because Pacific are mostly sticking as, well, they're sticking in groups. And they can't really bring down heroes fast enough. Naga Siren is too tanky. Mag, Sand King, well, they have escape spells. Problem is that they need the Clinks there with the silence to prevent those escape spells, and Wisp Lifestealer on their own aren't getting kills. Late game, this combo just isn't quite as powerful as it once was. Tinker trying to put some pressure on this tier 2 tower. Looks like he might get that. No one there defending. Oh, it's mid lane. Queen of Pain solo kill into the Rubik. The Empower giving him some bonus damage. As Tinker does get the tier 2 at top, but the Radiant team, they're getting aggressive. They're really looking to do a lot of damage here. As Clinks at bottom lane, well, he's desperate for a BKB. He's had this Ogre Club for some time, but still hasn't got his BKB up just yet. Wisp and Lifestealer still sticking together, still looking for those openings, for those kills, but they just can't find him. Tinker's farming and pushing at top lane. Spams the march, TP's out. Mid lane meanwhile. Draken just pushing that out. No BKB yet. He's got the Mithril Hammer, so he's almost goes BKB. Just needs the recipe. And this big fella, he's about to go down. Roshan drops. Pacific Esports pick it up. Naga Siren now with an Aegis as well. Naga Siren was tanking up as it was, but now you have 2 lives as well. Mag with a Ghost Scepter. That was his item of choice, and this is going to make it even harder to bring him down in these team fights. Who do you actually look to focus down if you're this dire team? There's so many difficult to kill heroes. The Shadow Demon kind of the easy squishy hero, but even there you've got a Disruption to help protect you. Tinker still being as annoying as possible at the bottom lane, but not to much avail. Naga Siren can just take up whatever harass gets thrown at him. The heart is there, even if he gets down to about half HP from some spam. He can force Tinker out of the lane, then just heal up using that passive heart regen. Tinker still going for this Dagon build, or at least he was. He's level 2 Dagon. We'll have to see if he gets some more points in that, or maybe starts looking at a sheep stick. This Dire team is really lacking in disables. The Rubik Telekinesis at this point is the only actual true lockdown they have. The only lockdown that's really helping get kills for the lifesteal as well as Clink. So I feel they desperately need another sheep stick. Well, a first sheep stick. Tinker needs to be looking at that, but we'll have to wait and see if he looks to level up the Dagon or go for that. Naga Siren now starting to push down towards this bottom lane. Dagon coming from the trees. Dagon blink away. Just being annoying, but it's just that. It's annoying. It's not even real damage being done, because look at this heart regen. 52 HP regen a second. He's going to be back to full HP in no time at all. Tranquil Boots as well, giving him even more HP regen. He's already back to full HP. Queen of Pain. Oh, Queen of Pain with a side device has found Tinker. Sonic Wave is there. Needs a couple more right-click damage. Shockwave coming in from the mag from behind, and there we go. Kill is there. Oh, RP. Wisp relocate right into the RP. Catches out the Wisp right off the bat. Oh, RP's been stolen. Oh my gosh, what a play coming up the river. He steals RP, catches out 3 in it, and now Lifestealer trying to get the walk, trying to do some work here. Naga Siren. Oh, the party pooper. Drops the ultimate. TP's out. Queen of Pain does go down. Shadow Demon as well. What a play coming out that Rubik. That RP steal saves the fight for Harrosh. That fight goes horribly wrong if that RP doesn't get stolen. And now we see Harrosh get back to work, split pushing around this map. Draken will get closer and closer to that BKB with that one fight.
Radiant's top tower is under
Top lane. Well, things are just all about pushing out these lanes now, and that's a nice little fight that we've just seen Harrosh find. Things are not quite over for them yet. There's still plenty of fight left in them. Abyssal Blade on the Lifestealer. Heart of Taras probably coming next. As both teams just sort of sitting back and farming for a bit. Naga Siren, this is something where you can get some additional DPS coming out from a Naga. You get the Empower, and Naga, who's not sort of the best late game carry, can be doing a lot more damage with that Empower as well. The Radiant team just trying to defend this tier 2 at bottom. Really sort of pushed back now. That one fight that didn't go their way up here. Suddenly we see Pacific Esports playing a different style. They're sitting back a lot more, being a lot more defensive overall. And Klink's, he's got his BKB. We'll have to wait and see what Draken can do in these team fights now with the BKB. His damage is still not great, but at least he has the survivability. He just needs to make sure he doesn't get killed out in an RP. The ensnares are mostly being used for the Lifestealer, so he doesn't have to worry too much about getting ensnared even in the BKB, because ensnares, well, they're going to be constantly looking for this guy, this Lifestealer. And oh, something we haven't seen just yet. Going to be Klinks trying to get aggressive here. BKB, he gets stunned. He doesn't actually get stunned. He dodges it with the BKB. Now he gets ensnared up. Lifestealer was infested inside of him. They're trying to bring down the Klinks here. Song of the Siren being used, and problem is for Klinks, he's in BKB form. And Klinks now very, very low. Queen of Pain doesn't manage to finish him off. It's going to be on the sidelines here. Sonic Wave is looking, he's searching, he's walking down the width. There's a stolen RP once again coming out of Rubik. The second time this game. Mag drops, Sanking drops. Look like Draken will take a fall from the Queen of Pain. Meanwhile on the sidelines, it's Lifestealer trying to bring down this Naga Siren. Defensive disruption. Gonna buy some time. Naga Siren now on the run. Can he get out of this one? Maybe gonna have to turn around and purge. Does do so. Powerhouse. The chase is off, at least for the time being. Meanwhile, Queen of Pain actually takes out the Rubik gem now on the ground. Queen of Pain probably going to want to look to pick that one up. Now going to look, is he going to go for this? Blink Scream. He doesn't want to commit fully to this. He's just going to try kite him around. He may look for it. He may look to go high ground. No. Doesn't do so. Didn't want to take the chance, and well, I like what we're seeing from Queen of Pain. Going for an Orchid here. This will make this Lifestealer a lot easier to kill if you have both Silence as well as Sheep to deal with him. The one thing that's costing Pacific is that this Rubik is continually stealing RP. It was actually the same RP. He never actually got a new spell. It's the same RP from the last fight, which he still had. He no longer has it, and oh, Tinker, nope, he's going to be okay. Queen of Pain thought about going in, blink Sheep with a scream, but he backs off immediately with a haste rune. Back towards the mid lane, gets himself some more farm. He wants that Orc and Malevolence. This item will help against the Lifestealer, who's getting tanked up Tarrasque, who's going to give him some pure HP to help try and survive that onslaught, but if he gets Sheep Silence, he's not going to be able to use that Rage. And the beauty of this Sheep is, even if he goes in with the Rage, generally speaking, he's not really doing enough in that first Rage. He's going to be using a second Rage in the fight, so they can wait out the 6 seconds, and then after that 6 seconds, they can use the Silence, prevent him from infesting, prevent him from using that second Rage. Harrosh, well, a couple good team fights going their way, and as a result, well, the gold, the XP has stabilized quite a bit. The Radiant team still with a slight edge, but not much separating these two teams, and once you get towards the late game, well, Lifestealer's already getting pretty close to being capped out, especially once he finishes off this Heart of Tarrasque. The question is, what's Queen of Pain going to be building after, well, after this Orchid? There we go, Orchid now up. Tinker abandons building his Dagon. Just level 2 Dagon. He's now gone back for the Sheep Stick. I think he realizes how desperate Harrosh are for some lockdown, for some additional disables. He's got himself an ultimate orb. Just needs to get up to that 3.6k, then he can finish off that Scythe of Ice. Pacific Esports though playing much more cautious now. They've seen the power of this Rubik in the team fight. Those two Rubik RPs, without them, this game would be over by now. Pacific Esports, I think would have won. Those RPs have kept Harrosh in this game. But they're still in, well, they're still in a bit of a pickle. Oh, more mobility coming out from the Dire team. Rubik has had this 4-star for some time, has helped him get in position for some of these RPs. And we'll see something else coming out in just a second. Tinker's still trying to farm. The Radiant team still just pushing out as many lanes as possible. Mantisal up on the Naga Siren, also sitting on a good chunk of gold. And Pacific, they're sort of waiting around, almost expecting Harrosh to push, but there's no way Harrosh are going to push right now. Until we maybe see a Sheep Stick on Tinker, but even then, this Harrosh lineup isn't built for pushing. It's looking for pickoffs. Use this Infest trick, and they're going to do just that, but it doesn't really come, nothing much comes from it. Lifestealer, he was infested in that clinch, looking to hunt down someone, but doesn't find anyone for the time being. The Dire team back to farming. Radiant team trying to push out this mid lane. Naga Siren just using Illusion, and there we go. Butterfly is going to be his next item of choice, and that's going to help out a lot against this Lifestealer and Clinks. Neither hero with an MKB.
Haste.
Ooh, and there's your next item up on the Lifestealer. An interesting item choice as well. Clinks at the mid lane. He's sort of lacking as far as farm goes. He needs another damage item. He needs to be looking at a Daedalus or an MKB. Queen of Pain, as we get into this late game, has done quite a bit of damage as far as carrying goes. Radiant team really just trying to search for an opening here, but the Dire team does not give in to them. Harrosh, well, they're playing this as safe as possible. Dragon is going to try to clear out this mid wave, sit as close to his own base. It's only Tinker who ventures out. Tinker feels safe enough that, hey, these heroes are sort of looking for a fight near the mid lane or somewhere else. He blinks in the trees, drops a march. He can blink out as well if he tries, if he sees a gank coming in. Even if they're smoked up, they'll reveal themselves by the creep wave, and he can blink into trees and TP out. He's really not in much danger there. So Tinker doing the smart thing, counter pushing in all whatever lane he can, both top and bottom. Roshan's still down, hasn't respawned just yet. Both teams will be eyeing that off when it respawns. Oh, Sanking. Silence up, blinks out though. And here comes the Wisp with the relocate. They're looking for the mag. Defensive disruption will buy some time, and Rage is going to wear off now. This will set up an SK epicenter. Nope, not going to go for it. Wisp Lifesteal there, chill chasing. Wisp relocates out. Wisp is gone. This Lifesteal's been left on his own. This could be a fight that Pacific want to take. And Lifesteal quickly realizes, holy crap, I can't fight this. Rage TP. Really awkward fight for both teams. It looked like Pacific were going to take the fight. I think they got cold feet. I don't know what it was. They had 2 heroes slept up. The Rage was on cooldown.
Lifestealer used his rage, got slept up. SK was in a position. They were slept up over here. SK was here. He could have looked at Epicenter, blink in with the Song of the Siren, setting things up, and oh my gosh, they found an opening. They've taken out the Mags, and with Mag on the sidelines here, no RP, this is not a fight that's going to go well for the Radiant team. Lifestealer in the middle of things. He's tanking up an Epicenter. Not worried at all about. There's your Dagon. Tinker finally making some use of that. And now Lifestealer, he's trying to fight this Naga Siren. Problem is he can't. There's too many illusions. Powerhouse goes down here, even with the Mag on the sidelines. SK gets off a decent Epicenter and does some damage to the Lifestealer, and as a result, Lifestealer goes down, and with him on the sidelines, it's really difficult for this Dire team to fight. He's their really only source of damage at this point in the game. Dragon just not really doing enough with that Clinks. The gem, it's now on the Rubik. I wonder if this Radiant team sold their own gem. No gem, and that makes sort of getting aggressive and just sort of moving around the map really difficult. You want to deny your opponents of whatever map vision that you can. Try and deal with whatever observer was. Late game gem is going to be so important. As Naga Siren back to pushing out these lanes. Illusions go top. Hero goes back to buy an item. And he's almost got enough gold for it, but problem is, with Mag and Sanking on the sidelines, there's just no way. Pacific, that's their team fight. The AoE lockdown of a Sanking Sun and a Mag ulti. And without those two heroes, it gets really hard to take the fight to a Harrosh. And no heroes on the map. Have to be wondering what is actually happening, and there we go. It's Roshan. They're too late though. Although they may be there in time to pick up Rubik, and with Rubik down, they don't have to worry about RP getting stolen. Mag going to find the Wisp as well. Wisp as well as Rubik both go down, and Tinker, he's, I believe, grabbed the Aegis. Where's the Aegis? No, it's Clinks. Clinks took the Aegis there. They would ideally want it on the Lifesteal, but problem was, Lifesteal was dead. He wasn't actually in that fight. Tinker now with the completed side of the Vice, but the Radiant team are going to push down this middle lane. Rubik is dead, and he bought this Blink Dagger, so he has no buyback. This Rubik is such a key hero for these team fights, and with Rubik dead, something gets very, very difficult to team fight. Queen of Pain just going to blink into the high ground. Doesn't have a BKB up this hit, but they may be able to bring down Draken. Luckily, he does have this Aegis. This could have just bought his team some time to keep on spamming. Been searching. Animation cancels it. Blink's going to survive, but Aegis gone. 20 seconds now with the two supports dead. Sam can actually get caught on the top. What was he doing up there? He gets caught out, brought down by the Tinker. This could be the end of this push. Purge on the Lifestealer. That's going to slow him down. He's now going to switch onto the Queen of Pain. Oh, there's your RP. Catches Dragon, catches the Lifestealer. Dragon gets first down, now onto the Lifestealer. Infest. Oh, what an Infest. He goes into the Radiant Crypt. That's going to keep him alive. Clink's going to buy back, and that Infest just saved his life. Possibly even saved Harrosh this game. Now the chase is on. Sanking dead, Mag RP on cooldown. Let's fight. That's what Harrosh are thinking. Unable to do so yet. And wow, this Naga Siren is looking pretty damn scary late game with a butterfly. The push going down the mid lane, and problem is, look at this Clink, still no items. He's got BKB Orchid, but he bought back in that fight. He really is, at this point he's not even a carry. All he brings to the team fight is a silence, and a bit of right click damage, but it's not carry potential. The carry is coming from, well, the Lifestealer, and even to a lesser extent the Tinker. The chain hexes, have to see what he looks to do with his gold here. Maybe a Shiver's Guard, maybe going back towards that level 5 Dagon. The level 5 Dagon can give him the burst damage he needs. As we hit the 50-minute mark. Harrosh, they've had their share of epic games here. Their very first match up against GOG, the team from Myanmar, was a 60-minute epic back and forth match where both teams took down Raxus. They had a Wisp then as well. They narrowly won that game, and the question is, can they do something similar here? They're playing from behind, much like they were up against GOG. And it's a very similar game. They have a Wisp Tinker. That game, I believe they had something like, what was it? They had a Chaos Knight. They had a Wisp Chaos Knight that game, but this game it's the Wisp Lifestealer. We'll have to see whether or not they can do something similar. They need to come back here. They are behind, but at this point in the game, 50 minutes in, this lead is, I don't even know if you can call it a lead. The total XP for both teams is pretty much dead even when you look at it as a 3k lead. Absolutely nothing to bring the two teams. Oh, Queen of Pain. Thrown up in the mid lane, will get shipped up once. Is there going to be an RP coming from the Mag? It looks like he's going to use it once. He doesn't have a refresher just yet. Naga Siren coming in from behind. BKB up on the Queen of Pain and snare on the Lifestealer. He can't really chase too much. He's getting brought down by the Naga Siren. All the illusions, the mana burn. They bring down Lifestealer. Lifestealer, instant buyback. He wants to get back to this fight. Tinker has no mana. Tinker may get brought down here. Ensnare, it looks like it's been stolen. Ensnare gets turned around onto the Naga Siren. Ensnare on Ensnare. Draken, epicenter. Burrow Strike coming out of the Sand King. Draken taking all sorts of damage. He gets brought down. Queen of Pain is back. It looks like he actually brought back into the fight, as did the Lifestealer. Lifestealer looks like he's going to win this man fight. Queen of Pain looking for a Sonic Wave here. Needs to be careful. Lifestealer with too much HP. 3 of Queen of Pain's teammates dead as well. Naga Siren somehow actually got brought down in the fray there. All said and done, TI3 champs Harrosh, well, they managed to just narrowly do okay that fight. They did have to use a Lifestealer buyback, but boy was that a close team fight. 52 minutes in now in this game, nothing separating the two teams. Neither team is budging. I think you're going to try to change that with this level 5 Dagon of his. And late game, I mean, both teams have some strong late game heroes. You got the Tinker, great for pushing out all lanes, great for the chain hex. Lifestealer as a carry. Clinks as well, at this point a semi-carry, a silencer. Just using that silence sting. Rubik, a great late game hero. And then the Radiant team with the team fight, the Sand King Mag, the AoE stuns. Shadow Demon as a late game support is fantastic. Defensive disruption being used is just the Naga Siren, the 2 main carries. Queen of Pain will go to help the bit, and honestly this Rubik has been the difference. Look at this cheeky little item he's going for. Cheeky, cheeky, cheeky. All about the mobility. He's had this 4-star as well as Blink Dagger for some time, and he wants another item to help with his mobility. The Radiant team now just focusing their efforts on defending these lanes. They're gonna, at this point we go back to a more passive game. Both teams will be looking to farm buyback gold. Lifestealer, his buyback on cooldown for 3 minutes. Same goes for the Queen of Pain. Both those two heroes bought back in the last fight, and as a result, they're not going to look for a team fight. They may look for some pickoffs, but they're not going to look for a head-on team fight. Whoa. Dagon level 5 up on the Tinker now. He's at top lane, just trying to spam down this march as much as possible. And what are we looking at here? Oh, they've got invis detection. There is a gem. RP going to catch out too. Draken as well as Powerhouse, they both get cornered. They were looking to use that Infest trick to do some damage here. It's going to be Queen of Pain getting focused down the chain hex. Is it there? Is there an RP still? Doesn't look like Wisp relocating in. They bring down Tinker, but he's got a buyback. Draken taking a lot of damage here on the front lines. He gets brought down. Meanwhile, on the back line, it's going to be Lifestealer on the run from a Naga Siren. Manta, is there another Ensnare? They need to get the Ensnare. He's looking for it. It looks like it gets cancelled. Doesn't catch up. Meanwhile, on the back line, Tinker with a double kill. Shadow Demon and Sand King both get brought down. Naga Siren putting too much effort into chasing that Lifestealer. Queen of Pain almost brought down as well. Forced to blink out. Song of the Siren being used just to escape. TP out. Oh, Queen of Pain blinks into a Wisp illusion here. Needs to be careful. And now we have Sand King and Shadow Demon both dead. Tinker made sure of that. Naga Siren came so close to killing the Lifestealer there. The Ensnare animation got cancelled. If he gets that Ensnare, with all the illusion damage and mana burn, that probably would have been a kill on that Lifestealer. And now we see some damage to the tier 3 towers being done. Harrosh, they're still well in this game. In fact, they're back to dead even as far as the gold graph is concerned. And with team fights like this, Harrosh are the ones looking to be in a better position.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Pacific Esports, well, they've really got to try and get this coordination happening in these team fights. The Song of the Siren, the epicenter, the Mag RP, so much synergy is needed and timing with these ultimates. You mess one up and the team fight can be lost. They also have to put a lot of effort into keeping this Queen of Pain alive, because this Dire team constantly using Scythe of Eyes, constantly trying to bring down Queen of Pain first. They're just trying to avoid the Naga Siren as much as possible. They're not actually worried about Naga Siren as far as focusing him down. He's too tanky. Heart and the Butterfly make him too hard to kill, especially when none of these heroes have an MKB. No MKB on the Lifestealer, no MKB on the Clinks. So they ignore Naga Siren and they try to bring down Queen of Pain. Queen of Pain's the bigger threat to them. Naga Siren Illusions just scouting things out here. Is there still a gem on the playing field? Looks like, yep, Queen of Pain has one. And once again, both teams trying to find those openings, trying to find those pickoffs. Rubik comes in the mid lane, drops a fade ball, try to push out this lane. Uh-oh. Oh, neither team, they don't latch on there. Queen of Pain going to go blinking in. Doesn't find the side of the Vice that he was looking for. They were actually smoked up there, and Clinks, he was in these trees here. If he came this way, he's dead. But he was hiding in fog. Not only was he invis, but he was in fog, because the Radiant team have a gem, so they can spot him. But the problem was, he was hiding behind those trees. He revealed them in fog, and the Radiant team were like, hey, how did our smoke get revealed? We have a gem, we should be able to see him, but it wasn't the case. And both teams focusing their efforts around this Roshan pit. They know it's just so crucial. Oh, they're going to find the Clinks here. There's an infested Life Stealer. He comes out, but Clink's already dead. Sanking, everything gets cancelled. He gets brought down by the Life Stealer with an Abyssal Blade. And now there's your RP. Mag comes in. Only one RP. Still hasn't got his refresher yet. Queen of Pain. BKB trying to bring down the Wisp. Now they brought down the Life Stealer. Life Stealer, is there a buyback? Hasn't used it yet. And the Radiant team, they're still chasing. They're going to march down this middle lane. It's only Tinker alive for the time being. If there's buybacks, they need to use them soon. And this could be Raxus. This could be Tier 4 Towers and Throne. With 4 heroes dead for a good 50 plus seconds, how do they defend this? Queen of Pain's going to go blinking in, look for this Tinker. The March Rocket spam is annoying. At least one set of Raxus is going to be brought down, and they still got 40 seconds. No buybacks coming out from any of these heroes. None of them have enough gold. Bottom lane, Tier 3 Tower, Raxus as well. I feel they could have almost just gotten the Throne there. Look at all this time they've got. 30 seconds left before these heroes even respawn. They got 2 sets of Raxus. Flip is going to be used. I guess it's a safer option to make sure they get the Raxus. They could even go for a 3rd set right now. They've still got 20 seconds to play around with, and they're still pretty much all full HP. Only Queen of Pain down a bit low. Now they go for the Tier 4 Towers. I don't know if they'll be able to Throne here. 10 seconds and heroes will be respawning. Tinker will go suicide in if he has to. Tinker, where are you? You've got to go in. Just throw your life away to save this game if you have to. You have to buy time, and the problem is there's no Life Stealer. Even with 4 heroes alive, they haven't got Life Stealer. Naga Siren going to go in on the Throne here. Throne getting down pretty damn low here. They're just going to go in on this Tinker. Tinker, his buyback's actually on cooldown. If Tinker goes down, things are going to be looking very bad. GG's being called by Pacific. Is this the end? It sure as hell looks like it. We need something like a Rubik RP to end the game. No, it's not there. Harrosh are defeated. Pacific Esports in what was one of the craziest, most epic games here at the Armaggeddon Dota 2 Grand Slam Asia have come out on top. The Pinoys have done it. Busian indeed. They've done what looked to be the impossible. Take down one of the Singaporean juggernauts in Harrosh. Harrosh get defeated. They'll be very disappointed. They had their chances. They were so close. But in the end, it just wasn't quite enough. So Pacific Esports, they advance to the next round where they're going to meet the other Singaporean team. Let's see if they can take down not one, but both Singaporean teams. They're going to meet First Departure in the next round of the loser bracket. We'll be back soon, guys, with more live Dota 2 action from the Armageddon Dota 2 Asia Grand Slam soon. Thanks, everybody.